Hello, and welcome to our latest faith moment. I've called this one, The Last Shall Be First. Let me explain. Sue's last faith moment pointed us to Holy Week, and that initiated a whole load of memories of past Holy Week celebrations, reflections and worship times. Over the years, I have enjoyed and been moved by many Holy Week worships and celebrations. The many Maundy Thursday reflections of the Last Supper, thinking about how the symbolism of the meal point to Jesus and why he came to live among us. The Good Friday worships leading to a final act of worship, where many churches process together to a central location, always an amazing witness to shoppers and the like. And the quiet and thoughtful reflections and meditations of Easter Saturday, and the whole concluding with the joyful Easter Sunday celebration of our risen Lord, and all the implications for ourselves, those we love, those we meet, and for the rest of the world. Alleluia! Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Alleluia. And then I had a thought. Perhaps we should not call Jesus' final meal with his friends the Last Supper, because during the meal, Jesus instituted a new approach for us all. The Last Supper, really, is the First Supper, a meal we have celebrated symbolically ever since. Now, okay, I know many of you will not agree with me, and that is fine. I will never play down the importance of the symbolism of Jesus' last Passover meal with his friends in the upper room, and the implications for all of us. This was the final meal Jesus shared with his disciples before he was betrayed, tried by a kangaroo court, and put to death on the cross. However, this wasn't just a farewell dinner. Jesus chose to eat this meal on the day of the Jewish Passover, with all its symbolism. But this Last Supper is not just any Passover meal. This was the ultimate Passover meal, during which Jesus institutes a new symbolic meal. It's a new Passover, which remembers and participates with and proclaims him as who he really is and why he chose to live among us. At this meal, Jesus initiated a celebration repeated every week among Christian churches across the world, called Holy Communion. At Jesus' final Passover meal, Jesus didn't tell the disciples to remember what I did. He said, remember me. And so that's what we do at communion. Remember why he died, because he is rich in love and mercy and overwhelmingly gracious and compassionate. That's why the communion meal is so important. Every time we take communion, we celebrate a dynamically spiritual experience where we encounter Jesus as we honour and worship him with our actions. When we take communion together, we are physically declaring Jesus' victory over sin and death, and therefore his lordship over everything, and that includes us. Sadly, our Holy Week and Easter celebrations will be different this year because of the coronavirus lockdown. Even so, let's worship our risen Lord as best we can with all our hearts. There'll be plenty of resources available through our website. For the families, Tracy has ideas for an Easter messy church at home, and that does sound fun. A separate service link will be coming out for each of our main services. That's Maundy Thursday, the Good Friday hour at the cross, and an Easter Sunday celebration. So let's be determined to truly worship together, even though we can't meet as a family, remembering all that Jesus did for us. Let's make the Last Supper the first of many suppers, where we proclaim his death and celebrate his rising in glory, and until that moment when he finally returns. Alleluia! Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Alleluia!